The world's most locked down city wishing for a Christmas miracle.
What's your Christmas wish?
It would be good to see Melbourne open up before Christmas, hopefully, and we can all reconnect.
To see my whole family.
Ideally, to see my family in Scotland.
Well, I think, like most people, certainty would be a great Christmas present for us this year. And I think that's what vaccination starts to give us.
And now that our roadmap is getting closer, I really feel that people can make plans, can be excited and can anticipate a very festive Christmas.
Melbourne Lord Mayor Sally Capp is pulling out all the stops to entice Victorians back into the city for some festive cheer.
We're extending the Christmas festival. Instead of 4 weeks over December, it's coming into November, so 6 weeks of Christmas fun.
It's certainly needed, with the CBD slumping to 6% of its usual occupancy.
We've got a Christmas wonderland planned this year for families to enjoy, for children to be able to have their photograph with Santa. It will mean socially distanced photos, but we're really going to make them still very special.
Melbourne's iconic laneways will be transformed into Christmas markets. Our famous summer events, including the Christmas Eve carols by candlelight at the Sydney Myer Music Bowl, the Boxing Day Test and the Australian Open will go ahead with crowds in a COVID-safe way. Exactly what that means is now being worked out, as is just how many will attend the Melbourne Cup. There'll be plenty of time to find Christmas gifts in store, with retail expected to fully open on November 5. Keep an eye out for Santa 2 coming to a shopping centre near you.
Normally we would have about 20-25 bookings for our Christmas functions, but this year we've only got 3 so far.
Despite the state's roadmap, Con Saru from Yarra River Cruises says the biggest problem he's facing, hesitancy with a capital H.
The capacity is a bit of an issue. You know, the 1 per 4 square metres, for us it's about 25%, so we can fit about 40 on the boat.
I just feel like it's too far away to be making plans, and I just, who knows what's going to happen in the meantime.
I have no confidence at all at the moment, so waiting every day to see what happens.
So, will Victorians be able to visit their neighbouring states by Christmas? Tasmanian Premier Peter Gutwein says the borders will reopen to the rest of the country once his state reaches a 90% double vaccination rate.
But that, I think, is a realistic and achievable target.
Meanwhile, South Australia is preparing to welcome double vaccinated residents from New South Wales and Victoria without the need for quarantine once they reach an 80% double jabbed threshold. Less is known about when Victorians might be able to travel to places like Sydney and the ACT.
We go to uni in Melbourne, so it'd be very difficult if we got stuck somewhere else.
I'm sure people will be asked to test, if not isolate for a few days if they're coming from areas where there's still active infection. So it comes down to that state's readiness.
Deakin University epidemiologist Catherine Bennett.
It's more encouraging people just to think a bit carefully, particularly if you have someone vulnerable at home or that you'll be visiting. If people are coming and have symptoms, for example, that would be a time not to go out to Christmas events.
It's the biggest coming together of community in any one-day event in the Southern Hemisphere. It's the biggest parade of its kind in the world.
In South Australia, Brian Gilbertson from the National Pharmacy's Christmas pageant says the annual spectacular will once again be moved from the streets to the Adelaide Oval.
We had 25,000 there last year, so that was a great number. Obviously, we'd love to have more, but we're in the hands of our advisors from SA Health.
Back in lockdown Victoria come Christmas Day, restaurants will be open for indoor service, and it's hoped we can have 30 visitors over for Christmas lunch and be able to freely travel throughout the state.
My parents live in regional Victoria, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to go there for Christmas, but we'll see.
For 2022, I think if we can get to the end of the year with certainty, then I think we're in a much better position.